Hi guys, I'm here with the binary options again and again, and with the nice, easy, really smooth strategy. I kind of like it. I test that and I haven't found any, disadvantages of it. I like it, but it's perfectly working, and I'm gonna try and just to show it on the situations where there's no high volatility. You better with the simple strategies try to find simple situations on the market. It's gonna be the perfect combination. So we go. So we just started, and as always with the interval, the period, it's gonna be the 1 minute. Here's gonna be the payouts. And I am into the easiest strategy with the different indicators because I think this is the perfect strategy just to show you how all of them are working. And it's better than to use all familiar indicators, in crazy combination. At least it seems to me so far. So I am with the simple, nice strategy with some indicators that I last used before. Here is going to be one of them. It's called alligator, and we are actually not exactly in these strategies all info about all these 3 lines, because if you Google it, you can find lots of stuff about that. And I personally love, the story about how this indicator was created. It's nice, but it's like a school education, It doesn't help sometimes. And here's the second indicator. I don't remember if I used that before in video because it actually calls Beer's power, and if you are familiar with all the figures, and I got some videos, it was really complicated. And the Beer's figure means that, the beer is just looking down, and it is just the chances how this trend or the tendency are going to be appeared on the chart. So if the Beer's power are looking higher, watching, and the upward direction, it means that there are the chances that all the chart are going to get down. And we are here just looking for the combination of all indicators, looking at the same tendency. So we go next. And what we actually see here, this is the perfect situation. So all 3 lines just looking downward, and the Beer's power showing us that the chances are just rising, that there's going to be. It's not about the candles. It's just about the tendency, the whole tendency of the chart, how it can look. And there's the high chances that it's going to be a downward. It's going to be just the falling. So we played on that. We made it bad for a downward movement. All 3 lines looking downward. Beer's power showing us chances are pretty high for us to get in downward. So we made it, and we wait for the result. And I am just started with a tiny bet with $290, and you may see it already that this is just the perfect orange candles, that it's just showing us how we work correct with this perfect little nice strategy. So what we are actually seeing here, all 3 lines showing us that we are gonna rise, and the Beer's power just started. It was at the resistance line. It was just at the resistance line and started to go down, and it means that the chances of all chart getting down are just getting smaller and smaller, and you may see the whole chart just rising. And it is with the chart, seems like, okay, it's gonna hit the resistance line, but all indicators showing us that we still may just rely on some upward movement. So let's check it out. And it is just a little bit close with that orange candle, but actually we are correct. And you may see that the Beer's power just changed its direction now, but it started with this direction, this orange candle, so the chances of the downward movement are higher and higher, but we were just right in time and get our profit in this path. And here again and again, all 3 lines looking downward. And what about the Beer's power? It actually showing us that the chances of the downward movement are getting downward. But, with these channels, with these indicators, it's just going to hit this bottom line and going to change its direction. And we playing on that. So this is looking downward. This is showing us that it's going to be the change. And it's sometimes a little bit later than the chart. So we made our downward bet. It was quite visible even on this chart that we are just in the middle of the tendency. on the middle of its direction, and it's gonna be silly, just silly, to make this bet on an upward movement even without any indicators. You can just enter perfectly, but there's the green candle actually. But here with the bearish power, we can see that the chances for the downward movement of the whole chart are rising, and we are getting that a little bit tricky. Have you seen that? It was like a green candle and then the huge orange candle, and we got it as a profit, and it's more than 1,500. So, correct again. Nice job. So, let's make just a few last bets. And here, just check what I'm doing. I made this bet for an upward movement because the alligator line showing us we are getting the upward. The bearish power actually just come into its resistance lines, and we gotta expect that it's gonna be the changing of the movement. So, and at some case with the bearish power, you may not, analyze it that hard, but it's just controversial. So remember it like that in that case. So we are expecting what we gonna have here. And we are just detecting some orange candles, but I think we were just right in time, and it's gonna be enough for us to have it as a profit. Yep, it is. And we got it again and again. So the timing, don't forget about that. The timing, the market is a key thing here. We got it as a profit, as a top. And what about here? Three lines of the alligator just looking downward. And what about the bearish power showing up the chances of the downward movement perfectly rising because this line just hit the bottom line. So we made it with the two bets, and we're not gonna end up with the huge sum. But this strategy, perfect. I mean, it's perfectly clear, perfectly nice, perfectly easy. And let's wait. And so what we are seeing here, orange candles, we made it just in the middle, in between of the tendency, and all orange candles just getting downward, and we got our profit. And we actually ended with the $4,000. That's quite a nice sum. So it's done for today. And as I told you, just as I predicted and as I tested before, the strategy is just perfect. I quite like it. I hadn't had any negative, emotions or feeling about that. So I kind of like it. And just a disclaimer. I want to tell you again and again, because I have a lot of feedback about some fake accounts. Please be attentive. I want you to be safe. And I don't want you to be scammed or something like that. Check it with all my links in the bio or below this video. Please, I want you to be safe, as I told you again. So for today it's done, and we're gonna see each other very soon.